Okay, homeschool moms, it's winter time, at least in the northern part of the world, and that means the winter blues and blahs are knocking on the door. I have 5 tips to help you beat the winter blues this year. Welcome back, friends. Thank you for tuning into another video. If you are brand new here, welcome. My name is Carrie and I like to share all about our homeschool journey here. That's the bulk of the content on my channel, but I do from time to time throw in other videos about homemaking, frugal living, thankful living, finding blessings all around you, things like that. If that interests you, I would love for you to consider subscribing and sticking around and letting me know down in the comments that you're new here. Today, I want to share with you the things that I am going to do this year to help beat the winter blues. We know that January and February, at least if you're in the northern half of the world, tend to be like really hard months to get through as a homeschool mom. They tend to be long and drawn out because there's no built-in breaks unless you choose to take any. There's no real holidays in there that we know that most people normally break for, but certainly, unless you're tied to a certain schedule with state regulations that you have, you can make your schedule however you want, right? You can take a break whenever you want. But most of us, at least the homeschool moms that I've got to know, really feel this kind of heaviness about January and February. It's a hard season to get through. Sometimes we're stuck in our houses because of the weather. This year, we're kind of stuck in our houses for another reason because of this pandemic. So most of the activities that we enjoy are not happening, and so we're kind of at home more. But I wanted to give you some tips, things that I have done in the past or I'm going to try this year that will help and or at least shorten the winter blahs in your home. Now, before I share these tips with you, I want to let you know that these are things you could implement even if you're not homeschooling in the traditional sense, where you're teaching your children, you pick the curriculum, you pick the schedule, all of that. These are things you could use just as a stay-at-home mom or a working mother, just anyone who's looking to bring a little more brightness and lightness into your home life with your kiddos. These are things that I don't think are just strictly homeschool tips. So that's why I'm trying to tag this video as more just motherhood because this kind of can be used even if you're not homeschooling. All right, tip number 1, have a school spirit week. Now, I know this sounds schoolish. This sounds like, Carrie, you said it wasn't just about homeschool. And your first tip is about homeschool, right? Well, not exactly. Because if your children are doing distance learning with a brick and mortar school or even another kind of virtual public school online, you can still have school spirit week. This is something that I think teachers would love to jump on board with if you as a parent suggested to them. Even if your children are going to school right now, if your school is still in session, in-person session where the children are going to school, send your teacher an email and let them know, hey, I think we should do comics week next week. I think we should do sports fun week next week. I think we should do superhero week, whatever it is. And the children could come, of course, in their masks, if that's part of the requirement, but they could come dressed up as these different things that have to do with the theme of the week. And that would really just bring a little bit of joy and excitement to the kids. Now, if you're in the homeschool setting, this can be done many different ways. We've done a school spirit week before. We've done crazy hair day and dress like a pirate day and mismatch day where none of their clothes matched, and we've done all sorts of different things. But you can do it where you Zoom other homeschool families and show them how your kids dress up. You can post pictures in different Facebook groups and things like that and show your kids pictures of other kids dressing up. You can really customize it however you want. But a school spirit week is a real fun way to bring some excitement and beat those winter blues. Tip number 2 for beating those blahs is to have a theme play day. Now, this is different than School Spirit Week, okay? School Spirit Week is specifically related to school time. But say for whatever reason, whether you need to just not have school on a certain day and have a day of play, because everybody just needs a day of play, or a weekend day, because sometimes these winter blues don't subside when the weekend comes, right? Even when, perhaps dad's home now or mom and dad are both home now, whatever, sometimes those winter blues stick around even on the weekend because you're not able to go out and do things that you normally do. The weather might be not cooperating, or maybe things are still closed if we're still in this pandemic too long. So have a themed play day. Let me give you an example. I have planned a couple of these days for my kids, and one that I have coming up is Doggy Day. And we're going to have a theme that has to do with dogs, everything to do with dogs. Now, we're not going to roll this into a school day. This is just going to be a play day. So whether it's a day we just don't have school, whether we take a snow day, or whether this is on one of our break days or weekend days, we're going to have a doggy day. We're going to put together my son's brand new puzzle that he got that has a bunch of dogs on it. We're going to play with my daughter's Barbie doll set that came with a bunch of puppies, and they poop and pee. It's really great. Love the person who bought that for her. We're going to make puppy dog chow as a special snack. We're going to watch the movie Homeward Bound, which was Mommy's favorite when she was a little girl. We're going to read the 101 Dalmatians storybook. You see where we're gonna take our dog for a walk. So all things doggy. We're just gonna have a doggy day. And then I have a couple other themes that might appeal more to my son that have to do with cars and trucks and things like that. But do you see where I'm going? We've had a snack. We've gotten some exercise outside. We've done a hands-on puzzle kind of activity. We've read a story, and we've done some imaginative play. So I try to pick an activity out of all those areas with the same theme. My kids love themes, you guys. They love it. And I bet yours do too. And so pick themed play days that your kids can even get excited about. Like next Tuesday is Fire Truck Day. Next Thursday, that's Space Day. And whatever themes your kids are into, and then pick out these activities that go along with it. And these can be things you do after school time if you're a homeschooling family, or if your kids are going to school. If you want to do those at home after school is over, you could do those in lieu of a homeschool day, because there certainly was a lot of learning in all those activities I just described to you. Or you could do it on the weekend. So any way you want to do it, pick a day and theme your play. Okay, we're up to tip number 3, and this one is all about snack time. Don't be stingy with snack time. I know we're all a little concerned about gaining that winter 15, right? As moms, we snack over the winter and we have all this pudge when spring comes. But when it comes to our kids, just keep in mind, and for yourself too, because I want you to be healthy too, mamas. Keep in mind that over the winter time, we eat more, not only out of boredom, that's a contributing factor, but we eat more because our body is looking for certain nutrients. And this is a medical fact. I've actually been a nurse for almost 20 years, and this is something that came up all the time, you guys, all the time when I was working at the hospital. Patients coming in with low vitamin levels, particularly vitamin D in the wintertime, and it had a huge impact on their mood and that bluish, depressionish feeling. Certainly, there are things that go on in many people's lives that result in true clinical depression. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just certain things that are quick remedies via diet or supplement, things like that, that could help beat the winter blues. So if you notice your kids are being a little sluggish, a little down, try and get them some vitamin D. Try and maybe talk to your pediatrician, see if there are certain foods that you could increase their intake of, and if not, talk to their pediatrician and see about getting some supplements for them. They have little drops that you can put in their applesauce or something like that if they're not willing to take a pill. Very good for you. I actually take a pill for myself, and so does my mom and sister. We are very, very prone to vitamin D deficiency in our family, and almost all the women have to be on it all year long in my family. So that's also a contributing factor to osteoporosis. So protect your bones, take your vitamin D. So I highly recommend to beat the winter blues that you look into some good vitamin, nutrient-rich snacks for wintertime. And don't be stingy with them. If they want to eat them all the time, let them eat them, because their bodies need things. That's why they want to eat more. It's not only boredom. Sometimes it is, but a lot of times it's because their bodies are trying to say, I'm not getting enough nutrition. Tip number 4 is going to go back to a video I did over the summertime, and I'll leave it down below. But tip number 4 is get your kids moving. This is the season for kinesthetic learning. If there ever was a time for it, it's now. Turn every lesson that you can into movement. Practice those math facts doing leapfrog across the living room floor. If there's a bit of sunshine outside and it's warm enough, go outside and do your lessons. Get your kids moving as much as you can. Turn a lesson into a scavenger hunt. If you're doing a phonics lesson and you're hunting for sounds with the shh at the beginning, go around your house, go around your yard, go around your neighborhood, and do a scavenger hunt for the shh sound. Don't stay inactive. Get your kids moving. That will help beat the winter blues. And my 5th and final tip to beat the winter blues has to do with my personal relationship with Jesus Christ. So for those of you who may be tuning in that have no idea what that means or have never heard of a personal relationship with Jesus before, I would love to share more about that with you. You can reach me at my Anyday Blessings account on Gmail anytime, and I'd be happy to share Jesus with you. But for those of you who have trusted Christ as Lord, then you probably know what I'm going to share with you. But it's a real help in this time where we're kind of a little more prone to being blue and down. We need to turn our focus to the blessings that we do have. Ephesians chapter 1. Write it down. Write it down. A lot of times we go to the Psalms. Those are great too. But Ephesians 1, you know what Ephesians 1 lists out for you? It lists out the riches that you have in Christ. It lists out all of the blessings and the abundance that you have as his co-heir. And so when you look at that list and let that be your reality, it will go so far to beating those winter blues. It really will. It will just change your thinking. And as you go through that, don't go it alone. Don't go through Ephesians 1 on your own. Don't go through, this winter blues time alone. You need to surround yourself with other ladies who also are focusing on Ephesians 1 and who also are focusing on counting their blessings and being blessing hunters. Because the real help for a Christian mom, obviously, is found in God's word in these seasons of life and really in every season of life. And so while we do all these practical things that I shared with you, don't miss the main thing, right? What do I tell you all the time on my channel? Keep the main thing the main thing. In this season of blues and blahs, don't forget to nurture your relationship with the Lord. Have other people around you, even virtually, that want to do the same, and draw on one another to beat those blues this winter. So that's it. I hope that there's 1 or 2 tips in there that you feel that you can implement in your home if you're trying to bust those winter blues and keep them from coming at your door. They're probably going to come in some form. Don't be surprised. Don't be shaken or, taken back by it. Just regroup and try some of these things, and don't forget to spend time each and every day counting your blessings, because a thankful heart is a protected heart. I promise it is. Be thankful and share those blessings with others, and let that just change your day. It really, really does work. All right, everyone, leave your comments down below about things that you do to beat the blues and get out of a funk in this winter season. If you have not yet subscribed, I would love for you to do that now if you have not done so. And go ahead and hit the like button so I know that you like these mama chats. And I will catch you in the next video.